TAFISA family. Yeah, the formal launch of the Active Wellbeing Initiative was done a month ago in Montreal in October. It was at the World Summit of the Union of Olympic Cities. And I must say, yeah, this has already encountered quite some success. This project, as we launch it today and as we have launched it 1 month ago, is the result of a 3 years process of a long and of a hard work that we would not have achieved without our partners Evaleo, and mostly through the support from the International Olympic Committee. So we would like to sincerely thank the IOC for their support for this project. I will stop talking now and I will give the floor to Sarah to give some words on behalf of the IOC.
Hello everyone. How are you? Fine. Good. I hope you all enjoyed lunch. My name is Sarah van Bellenkom. I'm from New Zealand, but I am very lucky to live in Switzerland and work for the International Olympic Committee. This is my first trip to Seoul, so it's been really wonderful being here and hearing from a lot of you and speaking with a lot of you. So thank you very much, and congratulations for all the work that you're all doing in your own fields. It's really fantastic. So I've been asked to give you a very quick bit of context from an IOC perspective. So I'll keep it short because I think the man we want to hear from is John, and he will tell you exactly how this project is going. So you guys, by now I think we all know Sam Ramsamy very well. You've seen him come up on stage quite a few times. I've had the privilege to work with Sam for the past 3 years. So I manage the Sport and Active Society Commission, and work in very close collaboration with Sam. So this commission is currently comprised of 42 members from around the world, and so these members represent international federations, national Olympic committees, and Sport for All organisations, including TAFISA. So Wolfgang has been a fantastic member of our commission for the past few years, and it's been through this collaboration that the Active Cities project has really flourished. So just really quickly, just touching on the Sport and Active Society Commission, its mission is to promote sport for all and physical activity for all people, which is really similar, I think, to TAFISA's mission as well, which is fantastic. So, and John will explain to you what the Active Cities project is, and actually it's just been rebranded. It's now called the Active Wellbeing Initiative. But it's an important project for the IOC for many different reasons. It's good for everyone to know that we have a lot of support internally, so it's a project that spans my department, which is the sports department, medical, and our Olympic Games department. And we really use this project to as an illustration of to contribute towards the Olympic Agenda 2020, which is the IOC's strategic roadmap. In particular, there's 2 recommendations that are really important to us for this one. So recommendation 23, engaging with communities, and 15, which is about maximising synergies with stakeholders. So John will describe to you in further detail the information about that. But again, I just wanted to say the IOC cares about sport for all and physical activity. It's a huge part of my work, and it's a huge part of Sam's work and of many of our members and stakeholders. And I'd just like to thank you once more for making me feel so welcome, and congratulations to you all for all the work that you're doing in this field. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. As Sarah mentioned, there's been a lot of work which has gone into the last 18 months to 2 years about global active city development. There are quite a number of slides which reflect that, but I won't go into detail on the majority of those. I'll just touch on the main elements of the project. So first of all, who we are. So we touched on the fact that the IOC are our commissioners. The lead organisations are TAFISA, with Evaleo, who specialise in sustainable health, with expertise coming from the City of Liverpool and Liverpool John Moores University. But we're very much blended into one team. So representatives of each of the organisations work closely together on this initiative. So the Active Wellbeing Initiative provides an organic and inclusive model. It is an active city approach, but we understand that the Liverpool model won't suit all. There are many differences around the world, many cultural differences, different sizes of populations and challenges. So we make sure that our systems can suit the needs of any city in the world. It's an innovative international standard which is ISO compatible, so it's a real quality kite mark for the work that we're doing. The Wales recognised label on the right hand side of the screen, the Global Active City branding, can be used by any city in the world who gains accreditation as a Global Active City. And we have full support for the cities. So it's not the case of saying, here is a standard, now go away and work on that and then apply for accreditation. We are with you every step of the way. So we have a full team of experts who can provide full advice and support. So the challenges faced by the world, these figures come from the United Nations, that by 2050, nearly 70% of the world's population will live either in or close to a city. So the city settings are vital in terms of energising and motivating people to be physically active. We can see the decline in physical activity levels around the world. Just in the space of just a few years, decline of 6% already in Brazil, forecast to be 34% by 2030. In my home country, the UK, a decline already of 20%, heading towards 35%. In the USA, down 32%, heading towards 46%. And in China, 45% decline. By 2030, that will be 51%. And what does that mean? As we know and has been well proven, increases in levels of physical inactivity can then result in chronic illness, in non-communicable diseases. So on the right-hand side, we can see as cities and nations become more physically inactive, we have an increase in cardiovascular disease, in cancers, in diabetes, and respiratory disease. Solutions do exist. Our focus is on energising populations and enabling them to become more physically active and making our environments safer, cleaner areas to live in. The great news in the diagram here clearly is on the right-hand side. So we know if people become physically active, it benefits their physical health, it benefits their mental health. There's a wealth of evidence to actually provide, show that as being true. Some images from the Design to Move initiative, the Nike project, showing that there are many settings in a city where people can be active. Our leisure, recreation and entertainment, home with domestic activities, transportation, and obviously we're looking at people walking and cycling and reducing the numbers using the cars, and then our occupation. So can we be more active in the workplace? Can our employers support the employees to be more active? All of these are key components of an overall active city approach. The significance of the city setting, municipalities have reach into the community. So we have programs and paths and parks, public spaces, schools, mass participation events and competitions. But the municipalities cannot act alone. The municipality has to have the support of many key stakeholders and key organisations to work alongside the municipality. The municipality also has structures and budgets which can be utilised, but they need to be enhanced by partners getting involved, such as our health partners, our professional sports clubs, etc. There are many barriers to overcome, and in the next slides we'll go into those. Many of the barriers that cities face include not knowing where to start. So they would like to become an active city, but they don't quite know that first stepping point, the first stepping stone. What we suggest as part of the active city approach is to have a joined up vision. So the key decision makers in the city work hand in hand with the population, with the citizens. It isn't something whereby the decision makers dictate to the population. We listen to what they would like to see happening in their neighbourhoods, in their communities, in terms of sport and physical activity provision. So the solution that we are suggesting through the Active Wellbeing Initiative, it empowers cities and people to take healthy steps. And I'll just touch on a couple of points in the model itself. So it's fully inclusive, it's for all members of the population. It's road tested because over the last 18 months we have had 10 pilot cities from around the world who've been working closely on us in developing the standard and making sure that it works. And now in each of those 10 cities, the active city approach is coming to life. We are already seeing results in those cities, and I'll touch on those at the end of the presentation. It's supported by experts, and it's an innovative standard. So it's more than an ISO standard, it's actually a system of management which we can assist cities in developing something which is suitable for you and for your needs. What we also have, of course, is the label to go with the standard, which can be awarded to any city who gains accreditation. And there is a challenge involved in this. It isn't just a case of saying, well, you say that you've got a strategy, you say that you've got an action plan, you say that you've got programs. There will actually be independent auditors who would visit the city to make sure that you are doing what you say you are doing. Once you show that, you will then gain the global award. Around this circle is contained the main elements of the standard. This is based on a plan, do, check, act approach. And again, I'll just touch on a couple. We are recommending that cities build alliances, cross-sector alliances to work together. You may not call it an alliance, you may simply call it a partnership, that's fine. We look to secure leadership commitment from each of the partner stakeholders. We need to have a defined strategy and action plan for each individual city. We have to allocate our resources effectively, and they are the collective resources of the city, not just the municipality. And we have to communicate well across each of the partners and to the citizens themselves, because as we were saying throughout the last 2 days, many people in our populations are inactive. We need to find ways to engage with the inactive, to energize them to feel this is for them, to make them want to participate in what we're doing. We all believe once they do start, we will win, because they will enjoy the activity and will find time to be active more and more in their own lifestyle. One of the other key elements in this is to evaluate. What we do has to be evidence-based. We know we have events, we know we have ongoing activity sessions in many venues around our cities, but how much of that is actually analysed properly? To say, here is the level of financial investment we are putting into an event, we are putting into a facility, we are putting into a programme. What's the outcome from that? How can we show to the key decision makers that what we are doing is meeting the key performance indicators for our city? In a time of increasing financial challenges, that is vital, to be able to show Here is where we started, here's the intervention, here is the outcome. Finally, the result, and I'll just read the headlines from this. By following the whole process, we believe cities with more active, healthier and happier citizens will be a result of this, an outcome. A smarter city, fit for the future, and a successful and more attractive city. The field-tested solution side of things, just move to the next one. We can see here some of the comments, and obviously from the IOC we have Thomas Bach, Dr. Fiona Bull from the World Health Organization endorsing this initiative. But as importantly, we have the city mayors from each of the 10 pilot cities who are commenting on the difference this is making already to their citizens, to their cities. Our advice, our recommendation, our request now is to try to encourage cities and any contacts that you have to join in the process. You can actually become a partner city by signing a declaration to say that sport and physical activity is important to your city. So you don't actually need to commit to go for accreditation at that point. You will simply become a member of a partner city and part of the movement. But further along the line, over time, you can then look to apply for accreditation. And the support that comes with that, straight away you will receive the standard and some simplified guidelines. Because if any of you have read an ISO standard, it's not the easiest thing to read. So what we're doing is to provide a simplified briefing for each of the key elements of the standard. There will be lead officer training and workshops and introductory workshops so we can advise cities who are starting out right through to those cities who are virtually ready to apply for accreditation. So there'll be support offered at every step. As we've said, we have a host of experts who are working with us, and I would like to make reference to the cities who have been part of the process so far. Richmond in Canada, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Lillehammer, Norway, Liverpool in the UK, Lausanne, Switzerland, Gaborone in Botswana, Tampere in Finland, and Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. As you can see, very big differences in the cities, different sizes in populations, different challenges that each of the cities faced. Each one of those 10 cities have hosted what we call a diagnostic visit, where members of the Global Active City team have met with their counterparts and the local lead officers in each of the cities, and we are now working directly with them to try to make mutually beneficial improvements and developments within the city, which then result in changes to behaviour of the citizens themselves, resulting in them being more active. So our next introductory workshop will be in Liverpool. The provisional date is the 8th of March next year, but there will be a series of workshops available around the world. We will also be providing our lead officer training at many venues through 2018. And just finally, the reference again to our website. Much more information and details available from www.activewellbeing.org. And I'll be here as well for the next couple of days. If any of you are interested in finding out more detail and having a chat with myself, I'll be delighted to meet you. Thank you all for your attention, and we hope you'll join our movement.
Thank you, John, Sarah, and John Paul. Are there any questions? Yes. You don't need a microphone.
Thank you, Bay. We live in Jamison, which is a city